Hey, what's up guys? This is RJ Nathaniel.
This is Brianna Norwood.
My name is Daniel Lopez.
What's up y'all? My name is Xavier Wilcher.
And you're watching
To the Top on Vybez Network.
I'm sitting on top of the world. Oh, I'm sitting on top of the world.
My name is Reginald Johnson. I am originally from Inglewood, New Jersey, but grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina, where I experienced a lot of my dance profession. I started training in classical ballet when I was 8 years old. This guy actually came into my neighborhood. I stayed in the projects in Greensboro, and I was at the Boys and Girls Club at the time, and a Caucasian man came to the community looking for little brown boys to dance in his production of the Nutcracker. And so that was my introduction to dance. Now, of course, at the time, I didn't know I was doing ballet. We would go to the studios, we'd be like jumping around on mats, like flipping and stuff. And then years later, we went on, he brought out those tights and those dance belts, and I was like, oh, this is ballet. And granted, for a little black boy in the project at that time, a lot of people were making fun of me because of the simple fact that they thought it was obviously a feminine activity to do. Since then, I've been dancing. It's been about maybe 10 years of like training, and I've been a working professional dancer for about 3 since moving to Atlanta. Before I was technically dancing, as far as like training, I was dancing at family cookouts, in the living room with the diaper on, like every time my mom put on like Michael Jackson or something. I distinctly remember being at a cookout, at my auntie's cookout. I had to be about like maybe 3 or 4, and I think Thriller or some Michael Jackson Beat It song was on, and I started jamming like full like diaper or whatever, and like my mom was like, yo, like my son, like he can really dance. As far as like a dance hero, I don't really have one. I just always remember being inspired by everything and everybody. My first experience at wanting to be a professional and take it from being an amateur who was just passionate about dancing and art would have to be Janet. I was watching her Hawaii tour, All For You tour, and I just remember her coming out of the sky or whatever, and her dancers was on like platforms too, and they were coming down from the ceiling of the auditorium or whatever. And I was like, yo, I want to be a dancer, I want to do that, I want to fly. And so I was behind the couch, and I would like pop up out the couch like I'm popping out of a toaster, and I would be walking around the living room strutting and stuff, like just, that's what I remember. But there's never been one particular artist or dancer per se that's been like a hero. I've always just been inspired by the arts in its entirety. So originally I'm from New Jersey, so Northerners have a very different style of dancing when it comes to the way they hear music. It's very much so like on the beat, on top of the beat. It's more fast, it's a pace, especially Jersey. So when I moved to the South, there was a more slow, more in the pocket, which is what I learned when I moved to Atlanta. And it's not so much of being on top of the beat, it's of being inside the beat. And that took a very long time for me to master because I was confused. I was like, you want me to be late? Like, how am I supposed to grab on? But that culture in the way Atlanta hears also triggers over into their style of movement. There's a certain groove, there's a certain vibe and a feel that like a New York or LA doesn't have. And there's an authenticity. Like Atlanta is so rooted in its culture, its southern roots, that you can't help when you're in class to like feel an energy or a presence from somebody that's dancing next to you. It's just it's like a cookout. It's like you always at your auntie or a family member like barbecue, and that vibe is so refreshing because it just makes you want to dance. Like you forget steps, you forget intent and all this other like technical things, and for that moment in time, you just experience what it feels like to be free in movement. If you don't know, I'm also a graduate of a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Professional Theater. That is my future goal. I want to pursue becoming a writer, producer, director. I told you before, like I really love the arts. You know, I don't see myself in one lane. I just kind of got swept up through the passion of my dance because it was just what was natural. I didn't have to go to school to learn it. And so obviously when I moved to Atlanta, it took off for me first. And so now you have this whole degree in theater, and it's like, okay, well, what are you doing? Are you acting or performing? And it's like, no, not yet. So my future goal will be to land like a feature role, like in a movie. I want to really exercise my acting skills, as well as being a filmmaker, script writer, and director. So, yeah. I went to Africa as a creative director, choreographer, and artist developer for a Nigerian artist. Changed my life completely. Am I getting emotional? Why am I getting emotional? Africa really changed my life in the sense of it was the first time I was able to visualize my people and what we do at our root. And just seeing that black excellence all around you, you know, because when I was there, I had to obviously hold auditions, I had to cast dancers for the production for my artists, and at moments I felt unworthy. I was like, these dancers are snapping, like nothing you can just, it can't be taught. It's in our DNA, and it's in specifically the African culture, people who literally are on the soil and they live there. Changed my life forever. I was completely moved. So that would be one. Two, I had a chance to work with India Ari for a 3-month series during college. Her life coach, Hilda Willis, came to North Carolina A&T and taught like a seminar workshop. And at the end, she selected certain dancers or artists to open up for India at the concert. And I was one of the dancers, and I remember Hilda taking me backstage. She was like, "No, Rich, like, I want India to meet you. Like, I want her to meet you." And so she took me backstage, and literally I walked into India's dressing room, and she was like, "Oh my God, come here, give me a hug." She just gave me this really tight hug, and she was like, "You know what? Like, I know Hilda been telling me that you dance and you're gonna open, but I want you to come out with me at the finale of the show and just freestyle. Like, I just want you to move to the music." And literally, I walked out, the show started, and at the end, I remember the drums and everything coming, and she called me out of the audience, and I went up on stage and just lived my best life through dance. So that was another one. And then last, I think that this recent job with Jacquees has just been amazing. It's a blessing when you're able to grow with an artist. A lot of people surpass those who are not mainstream yet, and sometimes those camps can already be established and they have their picks and their friends and stuff like that. But when you grow with the artist and you actually see where they're going and see that it's going to be a major impact on the industry, and it's just a blessing to be a part of that. So that would be my top 3. Up and coming professional dancers, you are enough, period. Everything that you need to be successful in whatever field that you want to be in, you already possess it. It's inside of you. You don't need to go look anywhere else. The key to who you are is you. You know, of course you can train and do, you know, other things to sharpen up your skills and perfect your craft, but at the end of the day, you have to be self-assured and understanding that I'm enough. You know, so if and that's in anything, without, you know, just dancers or musicians or artists, like anywhere you go, you have to understand that you are enough. And that message is so simple, but it's so powerful, because when you understand the power of who you are, it's nothing that you cannot do.